Maurice Benard is back with us for a second time. Yeehaw! That's awesome. What's up, buddy? How are you?
How you doing, man? I'm all right.
Yeah?
Steve, I hate to correct you,
You.
but this is the third time. The first time
Ah,
was bungled.
First time you didn't record it. You're recording now, right?
oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, the first time I
That
did
was-
record it, it just got lost. Just got lost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, dude.
that was my Academy Award interview.
Totally
And
was, too.
Bradford.
Totally was. Thank you, Bradford, so much for that.
That was
Thanks
fun.
for reminding all of us. Mo, what is going on, man? I know we're stuck in this quarantine. This is crazy times, dude. What do you? Yeah, you've been doing so much online too, by the way. That's been. I've seen a lot of great comments about how you've been helping people go through this time, especially. Obviously, you're a huge mental health advocate anyway, and we'll get into your book and all that stuff. But especially now, this seems to be kind of emphasizing and magnifying anxiety, fears, people being unsettled, not sure what to do. The social distancing is not great for a lot of people. What in your experience, being someone who has suffered, being someone who's had a lot of anxiety and some things go on, what's going on with you? I mean, just in general.
I'm going through my own bouts of anxiety. It's tough. It's tough all the way around. Times like this, everything's heightened. Anxiety's heightened. Everything gets heightened. So, I'm trying to do what I tell other people to do. Stay out of your thoughts, work out, do whatever it takes not to have negative thoughts and stay positive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's tough. It's tough because you can't. I have a routine, and I can't. There's no routine now.
Right.
Usually we're used to, and now we don't have that. So it gets tough. We can't even go out, really. I mean, we go out every so often, but it's tough times. Tough times. Right, Bradford?
Dude, I I count myself incredibly lucky because I don't have a lot of time to sit around and think about what else I would be doing because my little girls are doing homeschool.
Mm-hmm.
Steve and I are doing our stuff on, we're doing stuff for the podcast. We're doing stuff for our YouTube show. And I know that you're doing that as well. Like, can you imagine? I know obviously you have a lot to think about this week because you have a big release coming this week, but also you've involved yourself in your state of mind. How many days a week are you doing that now?
Once a week. I'm doing Instagram Live, Facebook
Live. Yeah.
But I still go in my car every Sunday, get into this little area, CVS. It's the same little parking lot.
That's amazing.
And boom, man, I do that in there.
Why is it CVS?
Lighting's better.
That's amazing, dude.
I've
Everything
tried different lighting. Man.
Everything in the service of lighting. I love that.
Yeah.
But isn't it nice to, like, sometimes we think of social media as something that, is either just a waste, not a waste of time, but like a time suck but in this time especially, can you imagine if we didn't have that way to connect with people? And the fact that we have the ability to connect with a lot of people, and you especially providing us, some people are just out there to provide entertainment, and you're providing that too. But at the same time, you're providing connection and revealing parts of yourself in a way that sounded dirty. But like really connecting with people on a real human level. And at a time like this, especially that feels to me like a real service. And it's pretty incredible.
Well, what's funny is the timing of this book. I think Steve and I talked about it. It ended up being the best timing, maybe not as far as I was supposed to go to New York and do all this publicity, but now it seems like I'm doing it virtual,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm just finding this out now in the next week. But the timing is right as far as my book, I think, because of all the mental health and everything. I think people will gain some knowledge, and it will help them quite a bit. And it's uplifting.
So look, I'd love to know, and I'm sure you've told this and will tell this, but the synthesis of the book, and the part, the process of putting a book together like that, and just how did it start?
A friend of mine who's a writer, we just started getting into it, and I didn't think it was going to happen, so I was just kind of not into it. So I was just talking, and she would be in the tape recorder, and then finally it happened. We got a deal with HarperCollins, and then I really started getting into it a lot more. So it took about a year. How long, Paul? 2 years? Almost 2 years of talking, writing, this, that. But it's like therapy at times. Sometimes you don't want to talk about things, and then you kind of have to.
Some of the things that came up in the mining of material for this book, were there things that you just hadn't? Were there things that you hadn't thought about for a while? Were there things that surprised you that came out?
Steve knows I talk about everything, so there wasn't a lot of surprises. What surprised me more was when I did the audiobook, and it was almost like reading somebody else's book.
Oh, weird.
And when it got to, it was a trip. When it got to some things at the end, I was like bawling like a baby, man.
When you were retelling it, did you almost get into a place where you were you connected to a place so deep in yourself that so much came out, and you didn't even, maybe it was almost like a subconscious, not subconscious, but like the stuff just poured out of you, and it wasn't until afterwards that you saw it from an outside perspective, like, oh my God, that came out of me.
Yeah. And it was almost like I had forgotten what I talked about or what was written. There's a chapter called Tears in Heaven about everybody in my life who's died. And Donna is very much a part of that chapter.
Yeah.
And the way it's structured, I was done. I was crying like a baby.
So, but that's interesting, because now you can give yourself a pretty fair review because you don't remember the retelling of it.
Yeah. Because when you do these audio things, and plus I had a hard time because I'm not good at reading out loud. I'm very insecure at reading out loud. And I hadn't remembered that until I started doing this, because it's like 5-6 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Right.
And when I started reading out loud, I'm like, oh no. But she helped me, the director, because she, I said, what, oh, did I mess? Yeah. So do it again. But that's hard, man. That was even not harder, but it was very difficult.
Well, you sent me, Mo, a piece of the audiobook, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
Because I commute a lot usually. So something like that for me is so amazing, and it sounded so cool. So I'm excited for everyone to just be able to hear the book. Reading the book's great, but honestly, to hear you read the book is even better to me.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I agree. It's almost better, but a lot of people do love to read books, man.
Absolutely.
There's something about reading a book, but the audio you can have in your car, and just don't get in an accident when you start getting into
getting into crying.
Did you find recording the audiobook that your instincts as an actor, you almost had to fight against, because this is a first person retelling of your story? And I don't know, like for me, I've never written anything like that, but I'm just curious, did you have, my instinct would be to make it like more performative than it would probably need to be.
Yeah. I was told that movie actors aren't great at doing audiobooks because they're so used to take so many takes, and you can't You don't want to have too many takes. Takes your energy away. So for what we do, it worked great because it's pretty cool. And Steve's in it, and that's all he cares about.
That's not true at all.
Well, but it's funny. I would imagine like if someone writes a book, your first instinct is like, oh, cool, maybe I'm in it, and then you're like, oh crap, maybe I'm in it.
Yeah, and I didn't go too dirt. I didn't go that route, but I was honest.
Of course,
as much as I could be, right?
I just think it's going to be a great look at like, behind the scenes stuff also from GH, kind of how you were going through your breakdown and dealing with things on the show and stories on the show. And obviously Paula, how amazing Paula is. And your family life. And I don't know, man, I'm excited, dude. I'm so excited about it because I think it's going to really be able to touch a lot of people on a whole different, on multiple levels, not just, hey, here's a guy on a soap, here's his book.
No.
This is a message. This is a platform that I've always thought that you should, be an advocate for, and you have, but now you've been kind of willingly and not so willingly pushed to the forefront of, mental health awareness. And I see it all the time on social media, mental health awareness websites and Twitter, on Facebook are retweeting you and thanking you. And I just think it's an awesome thing you're doing, man. You're touching a lot of people, and I know it gets exhausting. I know it does, because I know what it takes for you to do that stuff. So I think it's amazing that you're doing it, and you are touching people, dude, for sure.
Thank you. And what's funny is I started State of Mind a year ago, and then a year later, this is going.
I know, it's nuts.
I mean, that's just nuts, man. It's like I didn't know. I just did it because I enjoyed helping people that need help. And then, like I said, a year later, here we are.
Mo, to kind of finish up about the book and about what's going on, what I guess. And I know you give this message a lot to people at State of Mind. Just tell us about the message of the book and how, people can kind of get through this time that we've never really experienced before, in your opinion.
So to me, the book is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest meets Cinderella. That's really what the book is. What I wanted for the book is if I can prevent just one person from going through any of the pain that I've gone through with mental health. These times, everything is just through the roof. But people can get help. People can look at the internet. There's, get professional help, get knowledge. It's very important to do all that kind of stuff. And that's about that. You can get the book at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, curbside pickup. They have free curbside pickup now. So all you got to do is look up Nothing General About It, and you're able to see where you can get the book.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel.